government of the people. We beseech you to behold us with your abundant favor, as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our church. Amen. Sergeant at Arms, you may ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
The prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, there is a quorum hitch. The Speaker has directed that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes. This is as provided for in the House Standing Order number 34. This is, of course, to give room to the members to be able to make their way into the chamber and enable the House attain that much needed quorum for it to be able to commence. This is the quorum that is needed at the commencement of the House. As we wait for that quorum to be attained and hand you over back to the business of the day, we shall continue to take a look at that which the members shall be transacting this morning as they convene. Earlier on, I had indicated to you that the Sexual Offences Amendment Bill, sponsored by the Honourable Member for Kisii County, Honourable Doris Donya, debate on it has been done conclusively and comprehensively, and this morning the stage at which this bill has reached is that the question is to be put for it to be read a second time and be able to move into the next stage. Just a recap of what the bill seeks to achieve is that it is a bill that seeks to amend the Sexual Offences Act 2006, a bill or an act that was put in place and has been in place until the time when we got the new constitution. So, of course, some of the details in this particular bill seek to align this act to the new constitution. So it is a bill that seeks to provide for promotion of national public awareness of sexual offences and also be able to mandate the Cabinet Secretary responsible for education to establish programs to safeguard, protect, and also promote the right to education of victims of sexual offences, including victims of teenage pregnancies. Earlier on, we took a deeper look at the concerns around the teenage pregnancies that have been raised in the country, as well as the sexual violences that have been meted on vulnerable groups, and the loopholes that are there in law and the lack of even particular enforcement of already existing laws. So this bill comes at a time that the country needs to address those concerns countrywide. If you're just joining us, that the House is about to commence its sitting. Members of the National Assembly continue to make their way into the chamber, and we shall continue to take a look at the business that they will be transacting. The Teacher Service Commission Amendment Bill, a bill originating. The Speaker is addressing the House. Well, we shall continue to take a look at the business that they will be transacting this morning. Is that the Teacher Service Commission Amendment Bill, a bill originating from the National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2024, a bill sponsored by Honorable Abdul Haro, is coming up for a debate. This will be resumption of a debate that was interrupted on the February 18th, the year 2026, during the morning sitting. There is a balance of 2 hours and 21 minutes for the members who would wish to ventilate on this particular bill to be able to weigh in on it. And this is a bill that will be making amendments to the Teacher Service Commission number 20 of 2012 in order to be able to provide for various allowances that the Commission may pay to teachers over and above their basic pay. And the bill also seeks to entrench fairness in acting positions under the Teacher Service Commission so that the Commission confers acting appointments in a structured manner. The bill further provides for predictability and certainty in the management of allowances in the teaching profession. So this is a bill that the members will be picking up its debate regarding concerns around the basic pay of teachers, as well as the positions that the teaching fraternity or members of the teaching fraternity hold to be aligned to the manner in which we'll be able to ensure that the various allowances that the Commission may pay to teachers is in line with the law. So this is a bill that the members will be considering this morning, which will be a resumption of a debate. The Universities Amendment Bill number 5 of the National Assembly is also coming up for second reading. A debate on this particular bill has not begun yet. So this morning, as the House convenes, they will be able, the members of the National Assembly will be able to weigh in on the contents of this bill, which is at its second reading stage. It is a bill that is sponsored by the Honorable Major Dong Gadhiru. And this is a bill that seeks to amend the Universities Act 2012, of course, to be able to end the practice of universities offering certificate and diploma courses. The quorum has been attained. Allow me to hand you over to this business. Good morning. All right, the House is about to start its business. Just allow me to continue to brief you on the contents of what the members will be looking at this morning. Earlier on, I had mentioned about the commencement of second reading of the Universities Amendment Bill. Debate on it is lined up to begin this morning. And this is a bill that seeks to end that seeks to amend the Universities Act 2012 to be able to end the practice of universities offering certificate and diploma courses. And the reason behind this is that currently there are two bodies certifying certificate and diploma courses. You understand that there is the Technical and the Vocational Education and Training Authority for technical and vocational colleges, and also the Commission for University Education for the university. And the sponsor of this particular bill argues his point on that this leads to inconsistencies in the content and duration of the courses. If you look at...
begin first order.
All right.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions.
Honorable Dawood, before you read out your petition, allow me. Honorable members, I wish to recognize the presence of the following schools who are seated in the speaker's gallery, and the schools should rise when they are being recognized. Sergeant at Arms, they're supposed to rise when the schools are being recognized. So we have Migingo Girls School from Nyando constituency, Kisumu County. Then we also have St. Mary's School from Westlands constituency, Nairobi County. On behalf of myself and the substantive speaker and the members of the National Assembly, we welcome you to the House. And Honorable Dawood, you can also further welcome them on our behalf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I welcome the students from the two schools, one from Nyando and the other one from Westlands, St. Mary's and Migingo Girls. To the students, it's not very difficult. It's good that you have come to see how Parliament debates, how it makes laws, and it's not too difficult to get to where we are. You just have to study and keep your focus so that once you're through with your studies, then you can make a stab at elective office, and it's not a bad projector. Can I read my petition?
Yes, you may proceed with your petition.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, regarding non-payment, it's a public petition number 26 of 2025, regarding non-payment of outstanding retirement benefits for the 1997 retired teachers group. I, the undersigned, on behalf of the 1997 retired teachers group comprising of Mr. Samson Mutema and 8 others from Nordimenti constituency, draw the attention of the House to the following. 1, that between 1st July 1997 and 31st July 2007, approximately 5,200 teachers retired from the service of Teachers Service Commission, TSC, having been duly registered under the TSC and employed as public servants entitled to pension and retirement benefits. 2, that the said teachers were represented in the Simon P. Kamau and 190 others versus Teachers Service Commission, Nakuru High Court Civil Case number 65 of 2006, which was heard and determined by Honorable Justice David Maraga. The court ruled in favor of the teachers, affirming that the remuneration and benefits arising from the 1997 Taita Arab Towet Commission award applied to all teachers who were in service as of 1st of July 1997. 3, that the Teachers Service Commission appealed the decision at the Court of Appeal but was defeated on 12th November 2010, and the government's subsequent appeal to the Supreme Court in 2013 was similarly dismissed. Further, on 9th of December 2015, the Supreme Court declined an application by the Attorney General seeking review of the Court of Appeal's decision, thereby finalizing the matter in law. 4, that despite the above court rulings being in favor of the petitioners, only one phase of the 5 agreed payment phases was effected, leaving the majority of the retired teachers without the rightful pension arrears and other accrued benefits. 5, that although the government had agreed to pay 44,267 of the retired teachers, an estimated 1,733 remain unaccounted for and have not received any payment to date, despite being part of the court-recognized beneficiaries. 6, that many of the petitioners have since passed on without receiving their rightful dues, while the surviving members, now advanced in age, continue to suffer financial distress, neglect, and denial of justice, contrary to the principles of fair administrative action guaranteed under Article 47 of the Constitution and the right to property under Article 40. That efforts by the petitioners to seek redress through various government departments, including the Teachers Service Commission, the National Treasury, and the Office of the Attorney General have not yielded a conclusive response or full implementation of the court judgment. That the matter herein is of urgent national concern and falls within the legislative oversight of the National Assembly, hence the need for the House to ensure compliance with court decisions and the protection of citizens' lawful entitlements by the government, and that the issues raised in this petition are not pending before any court of law, constitutional body, or any other legal institution. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, investigates and establishes the status of implementation of the court decisions regarding payment of retirement benefits to the 1997 retired teachers, recommends for immediate settlement of all outstanding dues and arrears to the affected teachers or their legal representatives, including those unaccounted for in the 1,733 pending cases. Recommends that the Teachers Service Commission and the National Treasury provide a comprehensive report on payments made, beneficiaries, and the remaining unpaid amounts. 4, ensures budgetary allocation is made in the 2026-2027 financial year to fully settle the outstanding pension and gratuity arrears in accordance with the final court rulings. 5, make any other recommendations it deems fit to guarantee justice and closure of this matter for the retired teachers, their families, and dependents. And your petitioners will ever pray, presented by Abdul Rahim Dawood, MP for Nodimenti. This was dated last year, 13th of October. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I hope the chair of the Education Committee or the Education Committee can be seized of this matter together with the public petitions. And Madam Chair, I hope the petition can be sorted out within the 90 days framework, because there is another petition of mine of last year has not been reached. I hope that can be done as well for the Mau Mau fighters. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, before, I think I'll just give two members a chance to give a rider on this. But is the chairperson of the Petitions Committee here or the Education Committee? Because Honorable Dawood, I think the Speaker had made a ruling that if something is of a specific nature, it can be passed to not the Petitions Committee, but to the Education Committee. Honorable Osoro, you want to undertake on behalf of the committee that the
Yes,
petition will be looked at with speed?
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I've been keenly listening to Honorable Rahim, and we commit that the Committee on Petitions, although there is a bit of some turbulence in terms of the structure, even as we
The
plan.
Speaker
of course,
has
to
a
reallocate.
discretion to mark it to another.
Exactly, but we will do it
Yes.
in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, Honorable Dorothy Kiara, and then we'll come to you, Honorable Kangogo. Make it brief because it's just a rider.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to really support this petition by Honorable Rahim Dahoudi. Honorable Speaker, the teachers who retire in service are the most patriotic citizens of this country, Honorable Speaker. And it's very disheartening, Honorable Speaker, that teachers who retired in 1997 and they were duly considered for this award that was the award of a CBA that was negotiated and concluded in 1997. Majority of them have since retired. Majority of them, unfortunately, are today in the grave. Honorable Speaker, it is very sad that these citizens, these teachers who have served this country diligently, still are agonizing and waiting to be paid what was due theirs. Honorable Speaker, I want to petition this House and ask the committee concerned to take this matter seriously so that, Honorable Speaker, we can bring this matter to a closure. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kangogo, also briefly.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also say something about the petition. Madam Speaker, from 1997 up to now, you're talking about 29, 30 years. And Madam Speaker, people who retired almost 30 years ago, I don't know even how they are going to benefit from that retirement. And Madam Speaker, the issue raised by the Honorable Dahoud, it is not peculiar only to teachers. It is across the civil service, Madam Speaker. Many civil servants, they retire and they go all the way. Some of them, they die without even enjoying their retirement benefits. So as the committee of petition looks into this matter, Honorable Speaker, they need to extrapolate to come up with a policy, or we need to put a legislation, which I don't think we are lacking that legislation, on pensions and retirement, Honorable Speaker. I know as a House, we have had our own pension. There is a way it is structured and even in some other parastatals. But the people suffering are civil servants. They are teachers, Madam Speaker, which we need to make sure that when, as you give a notice of retirement to a civil servant or a teacher, you must be prepared that within 14 days or 21 days, that person should be able to access his or her benefits, Madam Speaker. So it is not a unique case to teachers. There are many, if you go to the villages, many policemen who have retired, some of them, they have died without even enjoying. So we need to come up with a law or a policy which cuts across. And there is need also to have an integration or digitization which is linking between the central civil service, teachers and all other government with the pension department in Treasury. So that as you retire, your file directly goes to Treasury and in the next subsequent few months, you're enjoying your benefits. I support the petition.
The Honorable Gladys Boss.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I, Gladys Boss-Sholei, on behalf of the residents of Uasin Gishu County, wish to make a petition regarding the production, distribution, and consumption of illegal alcoholic brews in the country. Honorable Speaker, I wish to draw the attention of the House to the following: that the production, distribution, and consumption of illicit alcoholic brews in the country has continued to cause serious public health, social and economic harm, including deaths, disabilities, addiction, family breakdown and poverty, and increased crime. That the Alcoholic Drinks Control Act Cap 121 was enacted in 2010 to regulate the manufacture, the sale, the distribution, and consumption of alcoholic drinks, and to provide for treatment and rehabilitation and enforcement mechanisms. Honourable Speaker, that despite the existence of this law, illicit alcohol trade remains rampant, evidenced by continued deaths, counterfeit alcoholic brands, unlicensed liquor outlets, underage drinking, and widespread adulteration of alcoholic products. That Uasin Gishu County, whom I represent, has been significantly affected by this menace, with recurrent incidents of alcohol poisoning, hospital admissions, and loss of life linked to illicit brews and adulterated second-generation alcohol, particularly among vulnerable communities. That the problem is widespread across the country and has in the past resulted in national tragedies involving toxic brews, such as in the infamous Kumi, necessitating urgent state intervention. These challenges are largely attributed to the weak, inconsistent implementation of the law, inadequate enforcement capacity, regulatory caps, and limited public awareness. Honorable Speaker, that the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA, is mandated to coordinate alcohol and drug abuse prevention, public education, research, and interagency collaboration. Yet concerns remain regarding the effectiveness of these functions. That there is allegations of insufficient monitoring and oversight of licensed manufacturers and distillers of second-generation alcohol by regulatory agencies, including the Kenya Revenue Authority, the Kenya Bureau of Standards. The absence of a robust quality control system, product traceability, mechanisms, and distribution oversight has allowed unsafe and counterfeit alcohol products to enter the market. That the regulation of alcohol remains inadequate with high local production costs and weak border surveillance. Honorable Speaker, it is known that ethanol, which is the primary base for the use of making of illicit alcohol and second-generation alcohol, is easily available through our borders of Uganda and Tanzania, where the tax per liter is significantly lower, as against Kenya's, which is 300 shillings per liter. In the two other countries, it's 60 shillings per liter and 30 shillings respectively. Also, because one is able to smuggle in 20 liters, as low as 20 liters of ethanol into their homestead and be able to manufacture the alcohol in the absence of any surveillance by the Kenya Bureau of Standards and the Kenya Revenue Authority, is allowing the rampant use of illicit and unsafe alcohol available to our families and our children. It is for this reason that it is important that this Parliament controls the use and transportation of this hazardous product, which is ethanol. Furthermore, ethanol being hazardous and a flammable substance, it should not be transported in small quantities. It must be transported the same way we transport petroleum and other such flammable products, in huge tankers with a minimum of at least several tons at a time. The unregulated production and transportation of ethanol is what is causing the problem, and that is the root cause of problems. And therefore, we need more efforts by relevant institutions to ensure that this is surveilled. That the matters raised in I also want to confirm that the matters raised in this petition are not pending before any court and constitutional body or any other legal institution. Therefore, your humble petitioners pray that the National Assembly, through the Public Petitions Committee, engages the relevant state agencies with a view of the following. 1, investigating the status and implementation of regulations in place to curb the production, distribution, and consumption of alcohol. 2, determining the cause of the rampant production, distribution, and consumption of illegal alcohol in the country. 3, recommending a multi-agency approach to curb the production and distribution and consumption of illegal alcohol, and 4, makes any other recommendations it may deem appropriate to address the plight of the petitioners. And your petitioners shall ever pray, presented by Gladys Boschole, member for Uasin-Gishu County. And Honorable Speaker, just as I sit down, allow me again to welcome the schools that are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. Migingo Girls School from Nyando constituency in Kisumu County. I'm particularly fond of seeing girls' schools because I myself is a product of a girls' school. And I know that your future is bright and you're all destined for greatness. To the young men from St. Mary's School, you know that I have a personal and strong affiliation with the school. That are reasons known to myself and a few people who are seated in the gallery. And I want to wish you all the best. And as a Loreto girl who went to Catholic school, I want to assure you that I know that you're in the right hands and your teachers are doing the right things. And I know that you're definitely also destined for greatness. And we look forward to many of you being able to come back one day and serve our country in this very house. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to petition that petition. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Gladys Boss, and also the Deputy Speaker. Honorable members, I can give 2 people to make comments on this petition. And I'll start with the Honorable Charles Ngusianguna.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I have a point of order from the Honorable member. What is out of order?
Migingo Girls.
You have been strategic. You'd like to welcome Migingo?
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Charles Ngusia, you may take a seat. Please do.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I welcome the students from Migingo Girls. Many years ago when I left the university in 1991, that was my first posting. So I was a teacher in Migingo Girls for 2 years before I joined Kenya Power. So I take this opportunity to welcome you to Parliament and wish you the very best in this August House. And I believe one day one of you will have an opportunity to serve this country as a member of Parliament. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Charles Ngusia Nguna.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I'll give only 3 people, honorable members, for the
Speaker.
purpose of progressing with business in the House.
Yes,
Proceed.
Madam Speaker, I would like to support the 2 petitions. In fact, this petition should be certified as urgent because the 2 petitions actually are cutting across, and it is common problems we are experiencing in our constituencies, Madam Speaker. The issue of TSA, it is so cruel, it is unjustified, and it is inhuman, actually, for somebody to work for so long and end up not being compensated for what he has done for those years, being given the right to retirement, Madam Speaker. I would like the committee to actually expeditiously deal with that matter so that justice can be given to the 2 who have been really treated unfairly. The other issue of alcohol by Gladys Boschole, our Deputy Speaker, Madam Speaker, I would like to support it. The issue is cutting across all the constituencies. It is a common problem, and we need to regulate alcohol abuse and alcohol use, Madam Speaker. The control of ethanol, the transportation, and all those matters, I fully, Madam Speaker, and with those few remarks, let the committee on petition deal with these matters expeditiously so that we can bring normalcy in our alcohol abuse fraternity. Otherwise, with those few remarks, I support.
Thank you. Honorable members, 1 minute on these comments. The Honorable Kitur.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I want to also join to support the petition by the Deputy Speaker, Boschole, because the Uasin-Gishu County in itself is a city that has grown because it was an education tourist town where there are many young people in that city. And the manufacturing, the cottage industries that were manufacturing these products in Langas and Munyaka are quite a number of them. And it actually spilled to Nandi Hills. At some point, I had to mention this because the security apparatus used to even support those who were distributing these products to Nandi Hills. And at some point, that was cut off. So as much as this is being done, also the security apparatus must be brought to book because they participate in actually the distribution and allow these products to be distributed even to cities like Nandi County, where we've been affected. And many of my constituents, some of them have even gone blind. And expand this, not only talking about ethanol, but also even use of urea and many other things that are very hazardous to the lives of the people. I thank you very much, and I sincerely support that petition for the sake of our Kenyan people and my constituents.
Thank you. The Honorable Kathambi, member for Njoro. What exactly is out of order? The member for...
Thank you very much.
Honorable Masara, member for Suna West.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I can see that you have hit the intervention button, and I thought that you want to make a comment, and I was coming to you. Is there anything out of order?
Yes, I wanted to draw your attention that the Kisii woman representative was out of order. Instead of using the right channel to cross the bar, she decided to go behind you. She talked to people this side and went behind you and go across to the other side. You know, she's a first timer. So I wanted her to know that for you to cross, you must go, bow, and then you cross over to the other side, Madam Speaker. That was the point of order I wanted to raise. Thank you.
Well, you know, member for the Honorable Masara, it is allowed to go behind. That is in order. What is not in order is crossing from the left to the right. So the member is very much in order. Unless you have an issue with the member for Kisii, she is completely in order. And I want to give a chance to the member for Kisii because you have been mentioned so that you can defend yourself. This is a critical time to say that any member is out of order because she is really in order.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Masara told me today you look smart. So instead of him just approaching me nicely, you know, I didn't respond. I told him I have my bill today. There will be questions and I need you to support. I left. Then he said, shh. I asked him, am I a hen? Am I a dog? How are you calling me? So he's just seeking attention, Madam Speaker. Let him be brave enough and come and approach me. I have no problem with him. But
thank you. Thank you very much, member for Kisii, for defending yourself. The Honorable Masara, if you want to engage the member for Kisii, you need to be a gentleman and do it the right way. The way you are doing is completely out of order. Man up, do it the right way. Do you want to defend the Honorable Masara? You want to defend the Honorable Donya? Yes, you may proceed.
Madam Speaker, the Honorable Donya is my sister. And in our culture, Honorable Speaker, if you want to approach a woman in the Kisii culture, you would pass through their brothers and pay the dowry that is required. Honorable, what I am aware, Honorable Speaker, is that Masara may not be aware that we don't take, we don't just take small amounts of money. And I know he's a man of means. We want to invite him to Kisii. Give us 100 cows, give us 500 goats, and then you give us 500 goats, and you give us, you come in a chopper and 10 what? 10 buses. Then we listen to you.
Thank you. Honorable members, that in the House, honorable members, that is called banter and canter. So members are in order to do what they have done, and honorable members, I would like now to go to business that we have, and I would like to give a chance to the Honorable Mzigi to make a comment on this.
I was the one,
I'm so
Madam
sorry.
Speaker.
Sorry.
Thank you,
Take
Madam
your seat.
Speaker. Thank you, Madam
The person
Speaker.
who was on her feet is the member for Njoro. I
Speaker,
apologize.
this
Please
is Charity
proceed.
Kathambi Chepkonye, Member of Parliament, Joro constituency, Nakuru County. Allow me, Madam Speaker, to support the petition in relation with the illicit brew. Madam Speaker, the production, the distribution, and also consumption of the illicit brew in this country, Madam Speaker, is our serious main concern. Because when you come to Nakuru County or Ojoro constituency, the consumption has really affected our youths. And Madam Speaker, when we accept the processes, the distributions, and also consumptions to affect our youths, who are our tomorrow's leaders, then, Madam Speaker, it will really affect this country. Therefore, we support the petition, Madam Speaker, and seriously say that, can we make sure that all the processes, all the distributors, and even the consumption areas, even the people who consume, become a serious matter to us. Therefore, Madam Speaker, we must also come up with...
The Honorable Lydia Mzigi, member for Taita Taveta County. 1 minute, please.
Asante Bi Speaker, hata mimi kunipatia fursa hii na nimpongeze Mheshimiwa Boss kwa hili ombi kwa sababu Bi Speaker, ni changamoto kubwa katika nchi hii. Tunapoteza vijana wetu, nyumba zinavunjika. Kuna kuwa na changamoto nyingi kwa sababu wengine wanapofuka macho na mambo mengi, hata wengine kujiua. Tumekuwa na vifo vingi vya vijana kujitia kitanzi kwa sababu ya msongo wa mawazo kupitia kutumia madawa haya ya kulevya na pombe haramu. Kwa hivyo hata mimi namunga mkono nikisema idara husika zinatakana ziingilie kati na zifanye kazi ambayo zimepewa kufanya, kwa sababu kila mtu akiwajibika masuala kama haya tutakuwa tunayajadili hapa. Asante Bi Speaker.
Honorable members, I was relying on the intervention button, and I'll give the last one to the Honorable Pauline Legurus on this one. Honorable members, there seems to be a lot of interest on this.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
And honorable members, I can add 3 more members. Please go to the intervention button.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this chance to contribute on the discussion that is on the floor of the House. Madam Speaker, the issue of illicit brews is really a very serious problem in the country, Madam Speaker. It's not only in Wasingishu or in Joro, but I think it's in all over the country, Madam Speaker. It's really a big problem. Most of our youths have engaged into illicit brews. We are losing some of them even to death. Some of them have engaged into dangerous illicit brews, and they are losing their lives. Some have stopped their education, and even some of them have even become destructive to the community. So, Madam Speaker, we really need a drastic action in order to be able to stop this kind of brews in the country, because it starts from the production to the distribution, and it's even getting into the lowest parts of the
The Honorable Rueda Obo.
Asante Bi Speaker. Nami nataka nizungumzie kuhusu hili janga. Kila pahali janga hili liko na nakada sioni kazi wanaoifanya. Utaona tu nakada maybe budget yao wanapata, kila ukiongelesha na kuambia budget. Budget yao labda ni ile ya kunywa chai tu. Kwangu kumeathirika sana, na kwangu imeathirika ni dawa inaitwa karambela na inauzwa shilingi 20. Hata mtoto wa shule anakula. Wanakula hata watoto wa miaka 11 wanakula. Kwangu watu wameathirika, ni kupigana, ni vita, na serikali inajua, sijui hata tufanye nini. Hata akienda usiesi mzuri bado inakuwa hivyo hivyo. Mimi sielewi tusaidiane vipi. Kwa hivyo hili ni janga tunafaa tuseme kama ni janga la kitaifa hili.
Order member for Lamu. Hoja yako ya nidhamu inahusu nini, Mheshimiwa CNN Charles Ngosi Anguna?
Nataka kuuliza mwenzangu, Mheshimiwa, unakula ama unakunywa? Manake sielewi, pombe huwezi kula, unakunywa.
I know the honorable member for Mwingi West is struggling with Kiswahili. So you are in order. You are not out of order. Please proceed. Kiswahili sanifu. Lakini uhakikisha ya kwamba uzungumze Kiswahili sanifu, kwa sababu anashangaa kama ni dawa za kulevya, ni kukula ama ni kunywa.
Hiyo dawa ni tembe. Tembe na kunywa. Unakunywa tembe. Hiyo ni tembe, ni karambela, ni tembe zile anameza. Sasa lakini wao hawamezi kama dawa, wanazikula kama chakula. Manake tembe pengine wafaa ukule tembe moja kwa matibabu. Wao wanazitumia zile tembe, inakuwa ni uraibu, wanakula kama 20. Watu wanakuwa ni mapanga, ni kukatana, wanaweza kuua hata babake, hata mzazi wake anaweza muua, kwa sababu hizo tembe ukila hizo tembe unakuwa wild animal. Unakuwa kama mnyama wa porini. Yaani hujali chochote, hata wewe mwenyewe ukipigwa panga wewe usikii, unaendelea tu. So kwangu hizi madawa zimetuathiri mpaka zimekuwa ni vita kila siku. Jana ninavyowaambia watu wamepigana kijiji na kijiji kwa sababu ya hizi tembe tu. Asante Mr. Speaker. Yes.
Mheshimiwa CTNA. And honorable members, please make sure that you bring your cards to the House. Otherwise, it will be difficult. And I think I've really prolonged this.
Well guided.
Only 2 more people, and then we'll make a reference of these petitions to the right committee.
Speaker, thank you very much for according me this opportunity. I want to support this petition because we are losing a generation. We have no future. Alcohol has become another thing. We want to ask that this petition actually, that we must stop the ethanol being provided by small businesses. It must be done by an industry so that traceability can be there. Because what ethanol is doing now, it is used for koroga. Koroga is an alcohol that is done within 3 hours, and that alcohol is ready for use, and our people are dying. Our people are actually going crazy. We have no youth, we have no generation. So, Madam Speaker, I support this petition that this ethanol, unless it is done by a factory, it must be stopped being sold in smaller quantities.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Lilian Sioi.
Kiswahili. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this chance. I also want to contribute on this petition. Madam Speaker, I think I want to speak on behalf of my constituency because ethanol is coming from Uganda through swamp borders to Kenya. And I don't want to say that it is only for the small brewers, but even these clubs, the big clubs that are there, the alcohol that is being made there, Madam Speaker, is not the right. It's not the right brand that is supposed to be sold to the people. People are using ethanol. It is a big business at the moment. Majority of our youths are getting lost because they take alcohol. They also take the tablets that Madam Honorable Roida was just talking about. And these tablets are being sold over the counter, Madam Speaker. So as we are thinking about the ethanol, we should also think on how we are going to make sure that these tablets are not sold over the counter that are supposed to be used with the people who...
Thank you very much. And lastly, honorable members, the Honorable Musa Silma.
Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. For the last 2 weeks, my constituency has been on the media on issues of ethanol. Madam Speaker, ethanol has always been brought from Uganda all the way, stopped in Wazingishu, and as they come towards Nairobi, they always get accidents in my constituency. I do wonder, where are police officers all the way until there is accidents involving those the vehicles carrying ethanol? Madam Speaker, this issue must be taken very seriously because our youths are dying. I have lost very many voters because of ethanol, and we want this thing to be implemented immediately, becomes a national issue and a national concern. Otherwise, our population is being decimated by this alcohol. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much, honorable members who have brought those 2 petitions. The petitions are referred to the Petitions Committee, and the chair is not in, but it is clearly stipulated that it is in 90 days. Oh, the vice chair is here. So in 90 days, that is the time that is stipulated in our standing orders. We are very concerned that the Deputy Speaker brought another petition concerning point of information. I can just complete this because it is very important for you, Deputy Speaker, that the Deputy Speaker brought a very important petition concerning connection between cancer, that you know the situation in the country, and its relationship with the pesticides. And that matter has not been handled. So we would like, when petitions go to the Petitions Committee, we know that you are overwhelmed, but that is the situation, you need to deal with it. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, your point of information, who do you want to inform?
Yes, I want to inform the Petitions Committee and also the National Assembly. If you remember, in the New Year address of His Excellency the President, he raised this as a crisis in the country. He said it doesn't matter how much development or transformation we undertake in the country, there will be no new generation to inherit it. There will be no children. We have no future as a country. So he said that it is imperative that we must rise this. Currently, there is a process of setting up a special task force under the presidency. But it's also imperative on us as parliament that we cannot just leave that only to the head of state. Even us, as parliament, we must take action. So we are already too late. We have not acted since the 31st of December. It is time that we act now. And therefore, the Petitions Committee, you can't do 90 days. This is a crisis. We must say that it must be given priority. In fact, the latest is immediately we come back from recess. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The Majority Whip. Majority Whip, your hand was up. Yes, I'll give you.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I wanted also to, I think the Honorable Deputy Speaker has actually spoken for me on my behalf, because these things are very urgent. In fact, they should have been dispensed with as early as yesterday. I mean, we are faced with a crisis, and especially when you talk about the ethanol, Honorable Speaker. I mean, those are some of the things that we need to discuss. We are losing a generation. Our whole generation is being wiped out completely. People are losing families. People are suffering back at home. People are fighting over resources, meager resources. Young people are actually selling their small resources, including land, including motorbikes and everything, to engage in these illegal activities. So it is, we call upon the Public Petitions Committee. Please, when you are faced with such matters of public interest, I mean, in as much as we've got that set timeline of 90 days, some of these matters should be dispensed with very, very fast, possibly within a week or two, so that we get the report. Just that.
What is out of order, member for Kilgoris? The Honorable Sunkuli.
Madam Speaker, you know, the Deputy Speaker has raised very important issues, as you have noted yourself. One, as you said, is the cancer issue. And then now, this one of the environment, and this one of ethanol. I think myself, Madam Speaker, that we are overloading the Petitions Committee. You know, like now that issue on cancer and the relationship between cancer and the pesticides can go to another departmental committee. Because, Madam Speaker, this thing we already have in Kenya, and I wish the Deputy Speaker was listening. Like, for instance, Madam Speaker, we have in Kenya the National Cancer Commission.
Please continue.
I'm addressing you, so maybe she's.
I thought you were addressing the House, but
I will lead your ruling on this issue.
Okay.
So we have in the Ministry of Health, the AIDS, the Cancer Committee, the Cancer Commission. Why don't we get these things to be given to other departmental committees so that we can address them? Otherwise, we are sinking them into a petitions committee, which is already overloaded. And in this particular one of ethanol, for it to stay for 3 months, for us to get an answer, I don't think that we are going to get an answer at the correct time. So I would beg, Madam Speaker, that these things be referred to the appropriate, to other committees rather than just the Petitions Committee.
Well, thank you very much. The Honorable Member for Kilgoris is raising a very important matter concerning the workload that is going to the Petitions Committee. But honorable members, remember that we have our standing orders that guide us on how to conduct business in the House. And as it is now, efficiency of this committee has been discussed with a lot of concern, because it's like dealing with everything, you know, in this House, matters that concern departmental committees. But at the moment, I can only say that that matter has been seized off by the Procedure and House Rules Committee so that it can be handled. But this will be for the future. And as it is now, from where I sit, the chair, Chair Petitions Committee, your hand is up, but let me first of all conclude what I was saying. The only thing I can do from where I sit now, I'll only refer these two petitions to the Petitions Committee. If the substantive speaker makes a different decision, it will be on a different petition, not on this particular one. For now, I'll only refer to the Petitions Committee. Vice Chair, Petitions Committee.
Because this is a matter of great concern, and it is actually a directive from the President. So we will expedite on this particular one, because we are losing a nation the way I support it. And also, Honorable Speaker...
You cannot be heard. We are not able to hear you. Normally, you are very audible. I believe there is a problem with the mic. Move to the next one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's better.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was saying we will expedite on this particular matter because it's a matter of great concern to this nation, and there is a directive by the President. So we'll try our best to expedite, and also just to request, Honorable Speaker, is that the committee is trying its best. Of late, we have brought quite a number of reports, and they are being debated in this House. So you cannot keep guilt-tripping us all the time. I think it is time you let us also work. There is too much work, and we are doing our best. So thank you, Honorable Speaker. We will expedite on this.
So thank you very much, Honorable Stiene, for that assurance. Honorable members, for the purpose of making progress, I think we have made enough comments on this matter, which raised a lot of interest. The two petitions are hereby referred to the Petitions Committee, and the Vice Chair has assured the House that it will be done within the stipulated timeline, so we take that to be the position. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday.
Well, it's good to wait that I call, but you may proceed. You may proceed, Majority Whip. It's neat when you wait to be called.
Apologies, Honorable Speaker. I just had the paper with me, so the papers with me. So, Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 25th February 2026, in this morning sitting. The reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2025, and the certificates therein in respect of Asumbi Teachers Training College and the Water Development Agency, Bogoria Silali Geothermal Project, that is loan number 2013-66103, Geothermal Development Company Limited, commonly known as GDC, Coast Region Water Security and Climate Resilience Project, that is credit number 5543 KE 740 KE, State Department of Irrigation, Coffee Cherry Advanced Revolving Fund, Eastern Electricity Highway Project, IDA credit number 5148 KE, AFD loan number 21001500278845, the Kenya Electricity Transmission Company Limited, Enhancing Community Resilience and Water Security in the Upper Athi River Catchment Area, Kenya Project, grant number GFC, NEMA FP175, National Environmental or Environment Management Authority. Honorable Speaker, the Higher Education Loans Board, improving public health and enhancing technical skills of youth in Kenya through sanitation technology transfer project, grant number 100000034. Improving public health and enhancing technical skills of youth in Kenya through sanitation technology transfer project, grant number 100000034, and an integrated program to build resilience to climate change and adaptive capacity of vulnerable communities in Kenya, credit number NIE Multi 2013, National Environment Management Authority, commonly known as NEMA, Kapchorwa, Saum, Kitale and Eldoret Bypass, project number PZI DBO 0183 ADB, which is new and in Kenya National Highway Authority, Kaimosi Friends University, Karatina University of Technology, Kendege Technical and Vocational College, Kenya Literature Bureau, Kenya Shipyards Limited, Kenya Sugar Board, Kenya Tourism Board, Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service, Kenya Universities and College Central Placement Service, Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme, Kenyanya Teachers Training College, Kenya South Sudan Road Corridor, Lezeru, Kitale and Mopus, Lokichar Road Upgrading Project Phase 1, AFDB loan, number 20,058.05, and number 21,001,500,43496, project ID number PZIDBO 246, Kenya National Highway Authority, Kitui Teachers Training College, Lake Naivasha Basin Ecosystem-Based Management Project, grant number CC 15346, National Environment Trust Fund, Maabera Technical and Vocational College, Machakos Town Technical and Vocational College, Masinga Technical and Vocational College, Menengai Geothermal Project, AFDB loan number 21001500-26101, Geothermal Development Company Limited, Msambweni Technical and Vocational College, National Drought Management Authority, National Environment Tribunal, National Irrigation Authority Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme, National Government Constituency Fund Board, Olkaria Lesos Kisumu Transmission Lines Construction Project, JICA Loan, number KEP 28, Kenya Electricity Transmission Company Limited, Public Service Commission Car Loan Scheme, Public Service Commission Mortgage Scheme, Receiver of Revenue Financial Statements, National Police Service, Safe Roads Stroke Usalama Barabarani Program, National Transport and Safety Authority, Samatar Wajia Road Project, Badea Grant, credit number 13451P, 13/779 and 995, Kenya National Highway Authority, Staff House Mortgage Car Loan Scheme and Claimed Financial Assets Authority, State Department for Correctional Services, State Department for Economic Planning, State Department for Energy, State Department for Investment Promotion, State Department for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise MSMEs Development, State Department for Performance and Delivery Management, Statement of Outstanding Obligation guaranteed by the Government of Kenya, the National Treasury. And number 49, Honorable Speaker, is strengthening drought resilience for smallholder farmers and pastoralists in IGAD region, project number 03, Dress EA 07, OSSKE 20, State Department for Environment and Climate Change. And number 50, Honorable Speaker, is strengthening forest management for improved biodiversity conservation and climate resilience, number P03162, IUCN award number AVCH 000981 and GEF ID stroke 10292, National Environment Management Authority. Number 51, Honorable Speaker, is supplementary financing for the Ethiopia-Kenya Electricity Highway, Nanyuki Rumuruti Underground Cable, project number ADB loan number 3502 PZ1 FAO 162 ADB loan number 2100 1500 27845 PZ1 FA0 044 Kenya Electricity Transmission Company Limited. Honorable Speaker, we also have the Tourism Regulatory Authority, the Seikuru National Polytechnic, Unclaimed Assets Trust Fund, and finally, Honorable Speaker, the Wildlife Conservation Trust Fund. I beg to lay, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Majority Whip. That's quite, it's well done. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
The Honorable Peter Masara. The Honorable Peter Masara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to ask this question on behalf of councils working with the National Police Service Commission. Madam Speaker, according to, pursuant to provision of Standing Order number 4CG, I want to ask this question to the National Police Service Commission. Could the Commission explain why in-house counsels employed in the National Police Service are yet to be paid their non-practicing allowances in compliance with the judgment of the Court of Appeal in the case of National Environmental Management Authority?
Who is that speaking so loudly?
That
sounds like the member for Njoro. I cannot see her where she was seated, but I can hear her voice. Where is she? Oh, the member for Njoro. Please consult the Honorable Wanjala in lower tones. And the other group that is nearby. You know, I can hear your voice, but I cannot see you where you are seated. So please consult in lower tones. Proceed, the Honorable Masara.
Madam Speaker, today is a funny day. You know, the member in question and Wanjala, they enjoy deep ties in terms of very many things. So just allow them, give them 2 minutes to go to the lounge. They can discuss and agree. Anyway, the question is to the National Police Service Commission. The Commission to explain why in-house counsel employed in the National Police Service are yet to be paid their non-practicing allowances in compliance with the judgment of the Court of Appeal in the case of National Environmental Management Authority versus Wasweto and others. Law Society of Kenya number 2 and other interests party 2025, KE 4A276 KLR. 2, outline the measures taken to ensure that in-house counsel of the National Police Service are paid the non-practicing allowances. 3, provide the timelines within which outstanding non-practicing allowances will be paid to the in-house counsel. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, honorable members. That petition will be replied before the Departmental Committee on Thank you. That question will be replied before the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security. You forgot an issue, but the question is already clearly stated and it has gone to record very well. And normally, for neatness of business in the House, you are not allowed to explain the question. Yes, can you please give him the mic so that we can hear the concern of the Honorable Masara?
Madam Speaker, thank you so much for giving me this time once again. My concern is these questions need to be replied. Madam Speaker, as you are aware, what is happening in Migori today, where the bridge is almost being swept, the market is closed. There's a question I asked about Marindi Market almost last year, towards the end of the last session. I was expecting it to be done the first thing because it's now, you look at what is happening in Migori, the business community cannot work there, and that's where they earn their living. Madam Speaker, I'm requesting your office to use the standing order applicable so that we can get replies from the questions we have laid before this House.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam
The chairman
Speaker.
is a chair in the House. The vice chair. You want to ride on that? But may I please establish whether the chair or the vice chair is in the House, any member of this committee? So prepare yourself, Honorable Baya or Honorable Wako, to tell us when this will happen. Yes, Wakili Mogaka?
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing me to ride on that. The question touches on my profession. Madam Speaker, in-house counsels forfeit their practicing in private. They shut down their law firms. They are not allowed to retain clients. And therefore, in lieu of that, they are required to be paid their non-practicing allowance. To fail to pay is a grave violation of professional rights, of human rights and labor rights. And I do urge that that question be answered as a matter of priority because every profession needs protection, including my legal profession. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Majority, on behalf of the majority leader, when do we expect a response to this question? Honorable Baya.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think a very good question coming from Asara, and I will request that I get a date that I'll communicate in the afternoon on the same. Thank you.
Honorable. So the Honorable Baya, this question is not for the Cabinet Secretary. It says the National Police Service Commission. So it will be replied before the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security. So if you just give us a date and pass to the chair. 2 weeks. In 2 weeks? I think we go by that.
Yes.
Let us say in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Ijara, the Honorable Abdi Ali Abdi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question I want to ask to the Teacher Service Commission is as follows. Could the Commission state the measures, number one, state the measures being taken to address the acute shortages of teachers in Ijara constituency, more particularly Hulugo sub-county, following the recent insecurity incident? Number two, explain the action being taken to guarantee the safety of teachers serving in insecurity-prone areas within Ijara constituency and the larger northern Kenya. Number three, outline the plans to put in place to deploy additional teachers under hardship or special security arrangement, including provision of risk allowances and social support, cycle support to affected staff. Thank you. I request the members from Northern Kenya or from the part of the country to contribute into this question, Madam Speaker.
I know you are a new member, and it takes time to learn, actually. I've been here this is my 3rd term, and I still find things that I've never understood about the House. So I do not blame you. But when it comes to questions, there is no debate. When it comes to statements, you can have your people make comments. So this one, there will be no comments. So is the chair education in the House? Or the vice chair? Any member of that committee? Professor, are you a member of that committee? Yes, the member for Nyamira? This question will be replied before the Departmental Committee on Education, but can we get an indication of when so that we can give a response to the Honorable Abdi Ali Abdi?
Chair, thank you so much. Mrs. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. As a member of Education Committee, we undertake to take this for at least two weeks.
I can see it will be done in 2 weeks. The Honorable Naomi Wako is just Honorable Naomi Wako. I know, I took note of what she said. But for the purpose of making progress, I will not make a comment on Mrs. Speaker. So we just proceed. So it will be done in 2 weeks. Did she give us a date? Are you saying that is too long? Yes, 60 teachers have left, including teachers from Kitui County. Because teachers feel insecure. I mean, there are threats. And to avoid debate on this subject, honorable members, and also so that we can follow our rules, I'll not open debate. Because if I open debate, I'll not be doing the job of the speaker. I would like to confirm from back to the member, and I hope you have authority you'll be able to pass this information to the chair and the vice chair. Give us a specific date, because the honorable member is saying that 60 teachers have left the constituency.
Madam Speaker, I'm sorry I called you Mrs. Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to take it up to the committee, and with the seriousness that it has, so that we can take it for 1 week.
1 week, I think it's reasonable. Make sure that you invite the member and you also invite the commission. This is serious, and it needs to be addressed. And I hope that it will be both ways, not only provision of teachers, but also ensuring the safety of the teachers, because life is more important than anything. So thank you very much. Next order. Honorable members, we have statements. We have statements, honorable members, and we start with the Honorable Bernard Kitur, member for Nandi Hills.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning regarding the implementation and management of the Public Procurement Capacity Building Levy. Honorable Speaker, the Public Procurement Capacity Building Levy was established via Legal Notice 206 of 2023 to provide funds for training, technical support, mentoring, and aimed at improving the efficiency and effectiveness of public procurement and asset disposal systems. The levy is set at 0.03% of the value of each signed public procurement contract. And it took effect on the 1st of September 2024 and applied to all new contracts, extensions, renewals, and variations executed thereafter. The funds collected are remitted by procuring entities to the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority for management and utilization. While the objective of the levy is laudable, there is concern regarding the administration, transparency, and accountability relating to the funds collected. It is therefore necessary to strengthen oversight to ensure that the levy serves the public interest effectively. Honorable Speaker, it's against this background that I request for a statement from the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning on the following. Number one, the total amount of levy collected under the capacity building levy that was established by Legal Notice 206 of 2023 from 1st of September 2024, broken down into financial years of 2024, 2025, and financial years 2025 and 2026, including the total sum currently held by the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority as at, it indicates here October 2025, actually as of today. Second, a report on the number of people trained using the levy, categorized by the type of training, regions, dates, gender, and the beneficiary institutions. Secondly, a monitoring and evaluation report of the training activities demonstrating tangible outcomes attributable to the capacity building levy expenditure. Fourth, a comprehensive report on the Public Procurement Capacity Development Framework guidelines that govern the use of these funds, including short, medium, and long-term budget assessment needs. And lastly, a list of procuring entities that have failed to remit the levy since commencement and the penalties enforced, if any. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Kitur. Chair, Vice Chair. In the absence of the two, I take now to the leadership. When do we expect a response on this statement?
We request that you bear with us for 2 weeks. We should be able to respond. I'll inform the chair, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Baya. The Honorable Joshua Mwalio, member for Masinga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to be able to read my statement. I request for a statement regarding installation of speed bumps on the Thika-Garissa Highway. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Orders 44.2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson.
The Honorable Mwalio shall be heard in silence. I can hear some murmuring on the left side, on my right, by the users of that road. So please let us hear the Honorable Mwalio in silence. You may proceed. Can we allow him to, or I would like him to finish without interruption?
Thank
or
you.
Is
Thank
anything
you.
completely out of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker,
Please
for
continue.
protecting me. I was saying, pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Order 44.2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Transport and Infrastructure regarding installation of speed bumps along the Kithioko to Kavenge Market section of the Thika-Garissa Highway in Masinga constituency. Honorable Speaker, residents of Masinga constituency have raised serious concerns about the frequent and often fatal road accidents along the section of the Thika-Garissa Road between Kithioko and the Kavenge markets. Numerous crashes involving matatus, buses, trucks, and other careless vehicles have been occurring along this section, frequently attributed to excessive speeding, dangerous overtaking, maneuvers, and the loss of control by drivers. Students of Mwatungo Primary School and Ialandi Secondary School, as well as pedestrians and the motorists, and also market vendors, are particularly vulnerable in this bustling settlement and trading zone. Notable instances in the Kithioko area include a matatu overturning that claimed 4 lives, as well as other collisions impacting pedestrians and the nearby market activity. Similar tragic events have been reported near Kavenge and at the other black spots along this road corridor. A recurring pattern of heavy pedestrian movement around markets and the settlements contrasts sharply with the absence of effective traffic calming infrastructure. Such a properly designed, clearly marked, and well-signed speed bumps, rubble strips, or pedestrians crossing. Honorable Speaker, the National Highways and Authority, KENHA, as the authority responsible for national trunk roads, including the Thika-Garissa Road, is mandated to address such issues through road design, standards, black spot corrections, routine maintenance, and the safety enhancements. However, implementation of the interventions along the road between Kithioko Market and Kavenge Market has not always kept pace with the reported risks, evidenced by recurring accidents and the public calls for action. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport, Infrastructure on the following: plans for installing properly designs and the clearly marked speed bumps at strategic points along the Thika Garissa Road, particularly at the section between Kithioko Market and Akavenge Market. The measures being undertaken to enhance road safety through the installation of proper signage, reflective markers, and other visual aids to ensure optimal visibility and adequate warning to road users, especially during nighttime and adverse weather conditions. Thirdly, the timelines for the implementation of these road safety improvements, including completion dates for the installation of speed bumps, warning signs, and associated road safety infrastructure. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mwalio. What is out of order, member, the Honorable Ochanda? And many other people who have put interventions that I believe it is for the next business. Is anything out of order, Honorable
Not
Ochanda?
really something out of order, Madam Speaker, but I needed to do a rider on Mwalio's statement.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes, I allow
Okay.
you. 1 minute.
Thanks a lot, Madam Speaker. While it is true and is correct the way Mheshimiwa Mwalio is placing the request in terms of doing bumps for purposes of speed control, but I generally have a problem, Madam Speaker, with how we keep interfering with the original designs of the roads. To an extent that sometimes we may only be looking at the issue of pedestrians, but not seeing through or not considering the other aspects of the other road users, particularly some of those who are using the cars, the vehicles, and all that. When we only use the pedestrians as a reason why we need to erect bumps, for example, or why we need to introduce rambles for that matter, I think this needs to be looked at in a very different way, Madam Speaker. It is true, roads are designed at the initial stages, but we are introducing too many other things that are making roads very difficult to be used, Madam Speaker. The rambles that are brought late in time, even if you don't talk about the bumps, there are many rambles that are brought in time.
I think you have made your point.
As we are approaching the market, for example, I think that there are things that, in my view, are making using roads to be very difficult, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Well, honorable members, since this question is going to the relevant committee, let us hear what the committee will tell us. Because we love the roads. We like them when they are straight and nice. But the honorable member has a right to ask for these bumps. So, honorable members, the chairman, transport and infrastructure, the vice chair. I know that there is a budget process going on. Maybe members are there. Any member of that transport and infrastructure committee? So in the absence of those, yes, Honorable Dawood, when can the Honorable Joshua Mwalio
Thank you,
get
Madam
a response
Speaker.
on this matter?
Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Transport Committee, I will not say 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks we will be going for recess. So we will give an answer after the recess, because we will not be available. But Madam Speaker, regarding what Dr. Onchada has raised, I think it is within the rights of the member to ask for bumps wherever they want. And especially, it is important to protect lives. He understands, being a doctor, he understands the life sanctity of life. So if you can save one life with the bump, I think it is better to have the bump than the car just going through. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Noted, noted. The Honorable Ochanda is PhD in economics. But I believe that those who are PhD in economics also value life. So that matter will be responded to as indicated by the honorable member of that committee. I can see an addition by the Honorable Abdi Bare, member for Tarbai. Tabaj, I'm sorry about the pronunciation. Let me take it again, because it is extremely important. The Honorable Abdi Bare, member for Tarbaj.
Very good. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to make this statement regarding affordable housing program in Northeastern region. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works regarding the status of utilization of the housing levy for affordable housing program in Northeastern region. Honorable Speaker, housing remains a fundamental pillar of socio-economic development and central component of the government's affordable housing program under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. While notable progress has been reported in major urban centers across the country, constituencies in arid and semi-arid lands, including Tarbaj constituency, continue to grapple with acute housing deficits, inadequate urban infrastructure, and limited access to planned and structured settlement since the introduction of the housing levy. Workers across the country, including residents of Northeastern region, have consistently contributed to the fund with a legitimate expectation for equitable national distribution and tangible socio-economic benefit from the fund. There is a need for public clarity on whether ASAL constituencies such as Tarbaj constituency have benefited proportionately from the resources collected under this framework. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works on the following. 1, status report on the total amount of money collected under the housing levy since its inception to date, including county by county and constituency by constituency breakdown of allocations and utilization per county and the number of housing units planned, both ongoing and completed under the affordable housing program. 2, a detailed report on the projects funded through the housing levy in Northeastern region, outlining the budget allocations made, the implementation status of each project. 3, measures and policy interventions put in place to ensure equity, transparency, and accountability in the collection, allocation, and utilization of housing levy funds, and the specific budgetary and policy actions the government intends to implement to address the development disparities affecting Tarbaj constituency and the wider northern Kenya region. 4, the total money expended so far since the commencement of the housing levy fund. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable members, before I can see 2 joyriders and I'll allow them. But I would like to take this opportunity to welcome students seated in the public gallery this morning from Holy Family Basilica School. Please be upstanding. From Starehe constituency, Nairobi County. You are welcome to the National Assembly to continue observing proceedings of the House. Honorable members, I'll allow the Honorable Caroline Ngeleche to welcome those students before I give the 2 joyriders.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to welcome the students to this chamber. Welcome, students, to the National Assembly. This is where the laws of Kenya are made. And this is where most of us dreamt while children that one day, one time, we will be legislators in this house. I want to encourage you to take your studies seriously. Sky is the limit. You can become anything in this country with education. You can even go beyond this house. You can be the president of the Republic of Kenya. You can be better professionals. So take your time, learn whatever we are doing, and God bless you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ngaleche. The Honorable Ibrahim Sene, member for Ajia North. 1 minute for joyriders.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The allocation of the housing program has been unfair, discriminative, haphazard, and unresponsive to the locals of northern Kenya. Properly, the assumptions, our livelihood is nomadic. There is the thinking that the entire land is void and uninhabitable, and so we may not be deserving of this affordable housing program. Madam Speaker, we have had the attack that the fact that we could not bring the housing program, the affordable housing, they call us affordable MPs, just because we could not bring. We are that cheap to be called affordable MPs. Madam Speaker, procurement has been a concern. A bid has been launched, and it is rewritten under Langata women prisons. One in Tarbaj is appearing for Kiambu. It's like the entire department is taking us for a ride. It's not serious with Northern Kenya. Northern Kenya is a very important part of this country, and I feel being in the 4th year, nothing except one in Wajir town as an urban center, one in Garissa, nothing substantive has been realized in Northern Kenya. We call upon the ministry to be serious and take us as first-class citizens, being the first residents of Kenya as a country. Kushites, nomads were the first to appear in Kenya. And I don't know why we continue to be regarded otherwise. We need our right. We are asking for our right. We need a share of our housing program. We are not begging, it's a right. This department and ministry is taking us for granted, and we will never allow. Actually, it will call for more actions should they not respond positively. Thank you.
Noted. Honorable members, that statement, I would like to ask whether the chair and the vice chair, I think he has done a good job for you. I can't see you on the screen. Please go to the intervention, please. The Honorable Farah Yakub, I saw your intention, but I was trying to trace you. I couldn't see you. You have 1 minute, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mine is also to add agenda to that statement. As a member of Parliament for Republic constituency and Secretary General of Northeastern Province Parliamentary Group, that statement is not only coming from Hussein Barre, it's a statement coming from the entire members of Parliament from Northern Kenya, and specifically Northeastern Province. There's the reason as to why we raised that statement is because we have been going to that office of housing as individuals and as a group several times. Up to today, as we speak, only 3 constituencies of the major towns in Northeastern Province have received a portion of that project. The entire 15 other constituencies, as we speak today, has 0, be it in the implementing stage, procurement, or inception. We think there's politics surrounding this project in terms of implementation in Northeastern Province. We have talked about it in terms of designs which are not related to our area. We've talked to it in terms of even pricing of those housing. Most of the contractors in those areas are lamenting the pricing because the pricing in a project in Lafay is the same as the pricing in a project in Pakasi, which doesn't correlate to the contract itself. We saw that statement with equanimity, with purpose, with aim, claiming that we should be given responsive, quick, and acceptable answer from the ministry.
So I think those are valid concerns from that region. The chair, vice chair, when can we get a response to this important statement? The Honorable Bayer.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would like to state that I'll talk to the chair to bring the statement in 2 weeks. Response to the statement in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Is that okay with you? The person who has raised the statement, the Honorable Abdibare?
2 weeks are okay, but we could be in recess then. So that may not suffice.
Honorable Bayo?
Now, I would like to say that it suffices in the sense that the statement will be ready when it will be tabled here, probably after recess, but in 2 weeks' time, we'll have the statement ready.
Very well then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next order.
Order number 8, the Sexual Offences Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 78 of 2023. Question to be put.
Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that the Sexual Offences Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 78 of 2023, be now read a second time. Will as many as have that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as have a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Sexual Offences Act and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 9, the Teachers Service Commission Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 27 of 2024. Resumption of debate.
Honorable members, this particular motion had as a balance of 2 hours and 21 minutes. I would like to see those who are interested in it. The Honorable Rahim Dawood, member for Imenti North, you are the first one on the screen. Is your intention to debate on this?
I spoke, Madam Speaker. I spoke last week.
The Honorable Abdul Haro, member for Madera North. He was the mover. Can I be a seat, please? The Honorable Francis Sigay, member for Sotik. Okay, honorable members, so that I know those who are interested in this, please go to the intervention button. The Honorable Timothy Toroitich, member for Marakwet West.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for granting me an opportunity to contribute on this very important bill by my good friend, Honorable Abdul Haro. Honorable Speaker, this is one of the most progressive bills that has been brought by the Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, this bill, the TSC, Teacher Service Commission Amendment Bill of 2025, seeks to provide amendments to the TSC Act to protect and define the mandate of teachers in this country. Honorable Speaker, this bill facilitates the realization of the right to education as provided for under Article 43(1)(f of our Constitution. Honorable Speaker, the right to education in this country is a fundamental right, and therefore any amendment that purposes or that proposes to strengthen that particular provision of the Constitution, Honorable Speaker, must be given the weight that it deserves. Honorable Speaker, this bill, under Clause 3, provides that the Commission may appoint a teacher to act in an acting capacity for a period of at least 30 days, but not exceeding 3 months. Honorable Speaker, we have had problems in this country where teachers have been acting in eternity. But this bill seeks to limit the period in which teachers can act, limiting it to not more than 6 months. So, Honorable Speaker, this is very progressive, so that a teacher who is given an acting position will know the defined period in which that teacher shall act. Honorable Speaker, it also provides that that particular teacher who has been given an acting position shall be entitled to what you call a special duty allowance. Honorable Speaker, as we speak, teachers in this country who are in an acting capacity do not receive such allowance. But if this House adopts this particular legislation, it means therefore, Honorable Speaker, that the law now will be very clear and teachers will be entitled to that particular allowance. Honorable Speaker, on the issue of house allowance, there was no clarity as to what a teacher obtains or gets insofar as acting allowance is concerned. Honorable Speaker, this bill has given a clear directive, and the proposal by Honorable Haro provides that since housing is a fundamental right pursuant to Article 43(1)(h) of our Constitution, then it means therefore that when a teacher is interdicted and is on half pay, and since the Constitution provides that every person has a right to housing, the housing benefits of the teacher or the housing allowance of the teacher shall not be affected by the reason that the teacher has been interdicted. Honorable Speaker, for me, that is very progressive because it realizes part of the Constitution on the right to housing. Honorable Speaker, on the hardship allowance, this bill has put it very clear that teachers shall be entitled to hardship allowance. But the only proposal I wish to put, Honorable Speaker, is that let the gazettement of hardship areas be determined by the employer. Let it be determined by the Teachers Service Commission, so that gazettement of hardship areas, let us give that mandate to TSC. Honorable Speaker, in respect to also part of the special duty allowance, this bill, Honorable Speaker, provides that teachers who are handling special children, children who have disabilities in our institutions, be given special allowance. Honorable Speaker, those teachers handling special children go beyond their ordinary mandate and have to provide special care to these particular children. Honorable Speaker, I support fully the proposal to give those teachers allowance. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Haro has also proposed that something called readers' special allowance be also given. Honorable Speaker, there are teachers in this country who have disabilities. They are blind, they are deaf, they have certain physical disabilities. Honorable Speaker, those teachers under this proposal are also entitled to what you call a reader's special allowance. Honorable Speaker, I support this amendment. Finally, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member has proposed what you call a transfer allowance, especially where a teacher has not initiated a transfer. Honorable Speaker, there are teachers in this country who teach in very remote areas, and a teacher has been transferred unwillingly. Honorable Speaker, this country is extremely vast. I have always given the example of a county like Turkana, where I am told that from one end of the county to the farthest end of the county is more than 1,000 kilometers. Honorable Speaker, that teacher, if transferred from Turkana to Nairobi, is entitled to a transfer allowance. Because, Honorable Speaker, bearing in mind the vastness of this country, Honorable Speaker, for your information, Turkana County can 3 countries in East Africa can fit into Turkana County: Burundi, Djibouti, and Rwanda. can fit into Turkana County. So you can imagine, Honorable Speaker, the vastness of that county, and you transfer a teacher unwillingly from Turkana to northeastern part of this country. So there is a lot of cost that is incurred. So, Honorable Speaker, I support that particular transfer allowance that has been proposed by the Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, as I finalize, the Teachers Service Commission, which is one of the commissions established under under Chapter 15 commissions, is a commission that has understood its mandate. Honorable Speaker, let us assist this commission by ensuring that we pass amendments that are beneficial to our teachers and also that facilitate the discharge of the mandates of the commission. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Wilberforce Oundo, member for Funyula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to contribute to the Teacher Service Commission Amendment Bill 2024. And I must admit from the start, from the word go, while in my days at the university, the first year and second year, I was a teacher at a secondary school, and I spent many years in the lecture halls at the University of Nairobi and other places. A teacher is always a teacher. Honorable Speaker, the Constitution of Kenya guarantees education as a basic right. Further, Honorable Speaker, Article 237 sets out, establishes the Teacher Service Commission and the functions to register trained teachers, to recruit and employ registered teachers, to assign teachers employed by the Commission for service in any public school or institution, to promote and transfer teachers. Honorable Speaker, Clause 3 of the bill before us requires the Commission may appoint a teacher in an acting capacity for a period of at least 30 days, but not exceeding a period of 6 months. Honorable Speaker, there seems to be something missing in this statement, and I hope the mover, Mr. Honorable Harris, is in the House. There seems to be something missing here. A teacher can only be a teacher once it's a registered teacher. I want to presuppose that you indicate you meant a teacher to act in an administrative capacity, an administrative position in any public institution. Because a teacher is always a teacher. The only way, there can never be an acting teacher. You only become a teacher once you have got the requisite qualifications and you have been registered by TSC. I'm not so sure what's the meaning of an acting teacher. Did you intend to mean that the PATSC can employ a teacher in acting capacity before they register as a teacher? So that's a normal charm that you'll have to rectify so that we're very clear in our mind that here you are referring to acting in administrative position for a period not at least for that days, but not exceeding 6 months. On that score, if that was the intention, then this is a very progressive bill that is probably long overdue.
What is out of order, the Honorable Dawood?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would not want to interrupt Dr. Oundo, but I think the bill, what Honorable Haro presented, he talked about administrative positions, acting in administrative positions. So when Dr. Oundo is saying acting teacher, it's not acting teacher. It's a teacher who is in an acting administrative position. That's what Honorable Haro said.
What you're trying to do is that you are making a comment concerning a statement of fact that this matter has been addressed by the bill, that it is administrative position.
Yes, Madam Speaker. But
So
you know,
he has
said he's talking about an acting teacher for TSC, where there is no position for an acting teacher. It's an acting position for an administrative position and not an acting teacher, Madam Speaker.
Professor Oundo, you know you are very sharp, so please make reference to the bill and get your facts right so that you are not disturbed by these points of order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let us read plain English. There is no other sugarcoating here because it's amending Section 32 of the original bill. And Section 32 of the original bill, Honorable Speaker, talks about publication of the register of registered teachers. Period. It does not talk about appointment in administrative position. And Honorable Speaker, for record purposes, Teacher Service Commission does not appoint. Teachers does not appoint. So let me get it clear. So, Honorable Dawood, let me read for you the words in plain English. The commission may appoint a teacher in an acting capacity for a period of at least 30 days, but not exceeding a period of 6 months. Simple English. No reference is made on the administrative capacity position or anything else. That's why I'm saying at the committee of the whole house, we must rectify and make it explicitly clear that here we're talking about acting either a deputy head teacher, a deputy principal, director of studies, those administrative positions allowed for under the Basic Education Act, or the scheme of service of the Teacher Service Commission, as well as the scheme of service of the Ministry, State Department of Basic Education. Regardless of that misunderstanding, as I said from the word go, this is a very progressive bill. Honorable Speaker, we have had so many teachers, very senior teachers, who have acted in positions for donkey years. When it comes to the times of interviews and promotions, they are told you have not gotten ascended to a certain grade, so you cannot be considered. You can imagine, Honorable Speaker, a man or a lady who has acted for 1.5 years in a school, and somebody else from probably even much young or junior comes and starts now being his boss, yet that person does not even understand the culture and the spirit of that school. If a teacher does not meet the grade, then the honorable thing to do not promote that teacher to an acting capacity. You are demoralizing that teacher, you are actually doing more harm to him or her than you are doing any good. So, Honorable Speaker, and it's also very progressive, a teacher appointed in acting capacity shall be entitled to a special duty allowance. It's a common practice. If you are appointed to act on behalf of somebody, then there must be a duty allowance to follow the services you are offering. Honorable Speaker, my colleague proposes to include fourth schedule. And fourth schedule has got a list, a plethora of allowances. It's a very good idea, very well intentioned, but I really don't want a situation whereby we promise our teachers heaven and deliver hell. It will be very, very demoralizing, and we are going to set up teachers into some necessary industrial action. I'm 100% sure, Honorable Speaker, and I have this premonition that most likely this bill might be declined to be assented to on account of fourth schedule. And what they will tell you, Honorable Member, is that the physical space cannot accommodate all these allowances you have listed here. Typically, when you go to shoot, make sure you aim your target. Imagine you have only one bullet left, but you are still young, probably have more bullets. When you have only one bullet left, you make sure you aim very, very precisely so that you don't miss the target. I would urge you, probably sit down, have a chance to sit down, the guys at the State Department of Basic Education, have a chance to sit down with people at Treasury, and even the Committee of Education, Honorable Speaker, and my colleague, and scale down these allowances to an allowances that we can know can be easily be achieved. So that no reason is presented here for us to lose such a progressive bill or to set up a situation that is going to cause turmoil in the education sector. But nevertheless, teachers deserve all this and much more, because without a teacher, many of us will not be standing here. Literally all of us. I don't know anybody here who didn't go through the hands of a teacher. In any case, in every community, especially in rural Kenya, a teacher is such a respected person, is an opinion shaper, is somebody who guides and molds our young people all over this country. I can't remember, Honorable Speaker, there was one time I had a disagreement with my last born, many, many years back. The teacher said something else. I thought the answer was different, but he told me very plainly, regardless that probably I was a bit more informed, that Mwalimu is right. You are wrong. We can imagine to the level we revere the teachers all over. It's therefore important, Honorable Speaker, whatever we present to the teachers must be wins and wins all over. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, let me go back to the original issue of administration of teachers. The performance of a school, the conduct of a school, and how the boys and girls or learners generally behave squarely depends on the character and technical qualification of the head of institution, be it a HOI in the comprehensive schools or the principal in the secondary and senior schools. I want to address the head teachers here today, the principals and the head of institutions. Remember, the very many boys and girls in your hands literally depends on you for their future endeavors. Their future life depends on you. It's therefore incumbent upon you to take this job, not just a job to give you salary, not just a job to give you prestige in society, but a job sent to you by the Almighty God to execute as part of his endeavor to make the kingdom on this earth a worthwhile kingdom that respects and protects the lives of the people. Honestly speaking, it must prick your conscience, we as parents and we as teachers and board members, that a child comes to school with a certain grade and goes back with a negative deviation. You have not added.
Thank you. The Honorable Phyllis Bator, member for Moiben.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to contribute to this amendment bill, and I want to thank Honorable Abdul for bringing in such a progressive amendment. Madam Speaker, teachers play a very fundamental role in our societies, in our schools. And I always say, there is no amount of remuneration which can be enough for a teacher because of the enormous work they do in transforming knowledge, in transferring knowledge to our children, and transforming our societies. Madam Speaker, it is the teachers who serve in our schools, irrespective of the ministry sending capitation very late. They serve in our schools when even infrastructure is not sufficient in our schools, but they still work and they still get patient and make sure that the schools are run well. The ministry sometimes even gets late in paying teachers who take students for sports, like what is happening now. Those who participated in the national games last year, up to today, they have not received any penny. Even those who participated in the Kenya National Examination Council, those who marked the exams and the results have been released, students have even been selected to the different pathways, others are awaiting to go to the university. And yet, up to now, they have not received even a single penny, but they are still patient and they are still running our schools. Therefore, Madam Speaker, this amendment is very progressive because it's open to cure the problem of teachers who serve in acting capacity without getting any pay, and at the same time, when somebody else, when they can easily be left out when they get promoted. Madam Speaker, we have had so many teachers acting as administrators, serving as deputies, serving as principals of schools, serving as aid teachers, serving in different administrative positions in our schools. But what happens, Madam Speaker, they can even serve indefinitely. The TSC has given a specified time that it can be 30 to 60 days. But Madam Speaker, we even have those who have surpassed those 6 months. They have stayed even for more than 1 year in acting capacity. And yet, when they are being considered, they are left out. You can imagine you are serving as a principal of a school for 3 years. And then after some time, when you are going back to your office as the acting principal, you find somebody else sitting in the office pretty well in a substantive capacity. How would you feel? Those are the things which demoralize our teachers, and these are the things which this bill, I think, by Honorable Aro is hoping to cure, so that it is very clear that if you serve as an acting administrator, you should be given priority when it is time to get a substantive administrator. They should not be bringing somebody else and then you are relegated to a classroom. Currently, we have so many teachers who have been promoted, just like the promotion which has just taken place. They have been promoted, they have letters to that effect as principals, deputy principals, head teachers, but they don't have a school to serve. So what happens? You have 2 principals in a school, one is acting, and one is substantive, another one just has been promoted but has not been given a school. So those are the issues which this bill, this amendment is hoping to cure, so that we have harmony in the Teachers Service Commission, and we have a very clear trajectory, so that when you are appointed as a teacher, you know when, you have a clear path on promotion and trajectory, so that you don't just remain acting and then you become demoralized. If there is anybody who shouldn't be demoralized at any time, it's a teacher, because they play a very critical role in our schools. They are with our children. They take our children from a blank slate when there is no knowledge, and they grow them progressively, and until they become very important members of society. And I believe all of us, everybody must.
Thank you very much. Before the next speaker comes, we would like to recognize the presence of Nyimbe Secondary School from Baringo South constituency in Baringo County. And on behalf of the National Assembly, I'll give an opportunity to the Honorable Charles Kamuren, member for Baringo South constituency, to welcome them.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this chance. I want to take this opportunity to welcome Nyimbe Day Secondary School. Thank you for choosing to come to National Assembly where laws are made. National Assembly, as you have been reading, now, today you are seeing realities. Nyimbe, Honorable Speaker, is a school that had a lot of challenges as a result of banditry. This is a school which acts like a rescue center specifically for girls in that region. It's a school that has been performing very well, and I want to take this opportunity to congratulate them for doing well in Baringo. You are among the top schools in Baringo, as I call upon the Ministry of Education to see how they can improve their infrastructures, because it's a rescue school. Thank you for coming, and feel free in the National Assembly, because I know some of you in future will be here and you will be leaders in this country. Thank you and most welcome.
The Honorable Rachel Nyamai. Nyamai, you wanted to contribute to this? Oh, the next one. Okay. Next I have the Honorable Member for Mombasa County. Kindly press the button, the intervention button. I can see next will be Caroline Ngeleche.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuchangia hii bili ya Mheshimiwa Abdul Haro kuhusu Teachers Commission, Service Commission. Mheshimiwa Spika, mengi yamezungumzwa hapa, lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, ni dhahiri kuwa hasa sehemu ambazo ni sehemu za shida, sehemu ambazo hata walimu kupatikana pia ni shida. Mheshimiwa Spika, ukiangalia hata sehemu ambao Mheshimiwa Abdul Haro ametoka ni sehemu ya mitihani. Mheshimiwa Spika, na hii bill mimi ninavyoiangalia, japokuwa imeanza kuleta tashwishi, lakini mimi naiona iko sawa Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu kuna walimu ambao wamekuwa katika acting capacity. Unaona mwalimu amekaa muda mrefu na hana hata ile kiinua mgongo, hawezi kupewa Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo ikiwa kama hii bill, na sisi hii ni jumba la sheria na ni jumba la kutunga sheria Mheshimiwa Spika, na sisi ndio tunaotunga sheria. Jambo lolote ambalo linahusu mwananchi kule chini Mheshimiwa Spika, lazima jumba hili liweze kuleta marekebisho na kutunga sheria ambayo itaweza kuwasaidia wananchi wote wa Kenya Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, walimu wengi hawajaweza kupata ile ajira ya kudumu Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini utapata sehemu nyingi, shule nyingi hawana walimu Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa mfano hata Mombasa, shule ya Kaachonjo hivi tunavyozungumza mpaka sasa hawana walimu, mpaka wazazi wanaanza kutoa watoto shule, wanakuja wanakuuliza Mama Zamzam una programu yako ya second chance, lakini hii shule walimu hakuna, inabidi watoto wanafunzana wenyewe kwa wenyewe Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo tukipata mwalimu ambaye anaweza kushikilia kwa muda muhimu isipite miezi 6 Mheshimiwa Spika, na ni mwalimu ambao yuko qualify, ni vile hajapata ajira rasmi na TSC Mheshimiwa Spika, anaweza kusaidia wale wanafunzi, akaweza kuwafunza Mheshimiwa Spika, kuliko watoto. Ni aibu kuona watoto wenyewe, mtoto wa form 4 anakuja kufunza mtoto wa form 2 kwa sababu mwalimu hakuna Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi napigia upatu hii, na hawa pia wakija kujitolelea. Niliona kuna mwalimu aliweza kwenda kule Garissa kufunza, amejitolelea, ni hardship area, kulikuwa wakati huo kuna matatizo, vita hapa na pale, lakini amejitolelea, anafunza, amevolunteer Mheshimiwa Spika miaka 3-4, na hakuna kitu anachopata Mheshimiwa Spika. Sio kuwa hayuko qualify kama alivyokuwa anasema Mheshimiwa Undo, yuko qualify lakini hajapata nafasi ya kuajiriwa rasmi. Umeona, lakini aweza kushikilia, akapata kiinua mgongo, akasaidia mahali ambapo walimu hawako Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi nasema hata hao wa kusaidia wana haki ya matumizi, wana haki ya kupata nao kiinua mgongo, waweze kupata chakula na mahitaji yao mengine Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi nataka niseme matatizo ya shule ni mengi sana. Kuna mpaka walimu, nimeona mwalimu wa Chuda pale Chuda analalamika, mwanamke aliletewa mpaka ile promotion, barua ya promotion, baada ya muda akaja akapokonywa tena, na amekaa hapo Mheshimiwa Spika, baada ya miaka 4 ama 5 anaenda kuretire, lakini amekaa pale acting capacity kwa muda mrefu sana. Sasa imefika wakati yeye kupromotiwa, barua inakuja tena anapokonywa. Walimu wengi wanafuatia mitihani sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Hata tukiangalia Shanzu Teachers College pia, yule ambao yuko pale acting principal amekaa pale miaka 14, hawezi kupata hata ile kuinuliwa kuenda katika na kupata ule mshahara kwa kazi ambao anafanya Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo sisi tukiweka bill kama hii ya kutetea walimu, sote tunajua elimu ndio uti wa mgongo wa maendeleo ya taifa Mheshimiwa Spika, na lazima walimu wapewe kipaumbele ili tuweze kupata madaktari, viongozi ambao wameweza kufunzwa na mambo yakawaingia vizuri akilini, kuliko uweke mwalimu darasani ana volunteer, ana njaa, hawezi pia yaka concentrate Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi nataka ni support hii bill, niseme ndugu yangu Haro umeleta kitu kizuri sana, na lazima tutetee hata wale ambao wako kwenye acting capacity waweze kupata haki yao. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you, asante Honorable Zamzam. Honorable Rachel Nyamai.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity, and also thank you very much for indulging me earlier when I was trying to settle down. Honorable Speaker, this is a very important bill, and I would like to congratulate the Honorable Member. He takes a lot of time in this House, Honorable Speaker. Being a new member, he has done a wonderful job in this house, and I think this should be commended. Concerning this current bill, Honorable Speaker, it is extremely important to recognize that no matter what we do, no matter how much money we put in education, we must be considerate to the human power. We are putting money in infrastructure development for schools. We put a lot of money for research, training, but we forget that early in the morning, there is a teacher who wakes up at 4:30 a.m. to prepare her own children to go to school and then walk kilometers and kilometers, and particularly in our constituencies. For example, in Kisii South, where teachers go for 10 kilometers using motorbikes. Honorable Speaker, you need to come to my constituency and see female teachers on motorbikes going 20 kilometers to teach. And we must tell the TSC, and also all of us, bear in mind that the most important is the teacher who goes to school to teach our students. And this bill, Honorable Speaker, is suggesting that we should provide for teachers who are on acting capacity. And Honorable Speaker, I would like to give you a live example of a teacher who has a master's degree, who was posted in a school in my constituency called Monguni Primary School, and she has acted as a deputy head teacher for 12 years. And Honorable Speaker, what happened is that while she was in her school in Monguni, in Ikuda Ward, in Kisii South constituency, Teacher Service Commission sent a teacher to come to the same school where she had been acting for so many years. We would like to ask the Teacher Service Commission, what is the justification? And now that this law that has been brought is going to deal with such issues, such that someone acts for only about 30 days to 6 months, and when they act, then they should be compensated for the duty that they do. Honorable Speaker, when these teachers are being posted, you find that someone who has worked for 20 years and has been on acting capacity is brought a teacher who has been in service for less than 10 years. And it is actually, there is no justification. So I would like to ask, even as we wait for the law, the Teacher Service Commission, the Regional Commissioner for Eastern, the County Commissioner for Kitui, and the County Commissioner for Ikuda should rescue this teacher who has been calling me and asking me, what is the purpose of going to be an acting teacher, deputy teacher for 12 years, and then I brought someone to act. I think this is a matter that can be handled. Going to the matter of promotion, Honorable Speaker, I think he has elaborated very well in this bill that teachers must be promoted based on a certain a clearly stipulated boxes to tick, not just on those that they like. Concerning transfers, there are teachers who are transferred without their request. If it is done, and it is normally done for other professions, if someone is transferred from, for example, from Kitui, which rarely happens, to Turkana, for example, then we should be willing to pay for it so that we do not cause a lot of disturbance to that person. Teachers teaching in special education. Honorable Speaker, when these teachers go to be trained in Kisii, someone is trained to deal with, for example, the blind. Others with the students, for example, people with cerebral palsy. Others on different, I can see my time is running out. But what I was just trying to say, Honorable Speaker, is that teachers in special schools need to be given better consideration. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I would like to say that it is extremely important to give these allowances that are being proposed by the Honorable Harrow. If other professions are given, if judges are given, if lawyers are given, if doctors are given, then teachers should be given all the allowances that they're asking for. In any case, they are the best that we have, and they are the ones who will ensure that education in this country runs properly. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. We may now have Honorable Amina Mnazi, member for Malindi. I know Ngeleche, you were supposed to be next, but Honorable Mnazi is going somewhere. That's why I'm giving her a chance. We'll get to you.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, nasimama hapa kuunga mkono huu mswada wa Tume ya Utumishi ya Walimu mwaka wa 2024. Ninaposimama hapa Mheshimiwa Spika, kama mwakilishaji wa watu wa Malindi, najua na naelewa ya kwamba masuala ya elimu lazima tuweze kupatia kipaumbele, hususan sisi viongozi wenye ambao tuko katika jumba hili la kitaifa. Mheshimiwa Spika, kama kuna watu ambao tunafaa tuangazie vizuri zaidi na tuweze kushikana nao vizuri, hususan sisi wenye ambao tunatoka sehemu za Malindi, sehemu za Pwani, ni watu ambao wanaitwa walimu. Na jambo lolote lenye ambalo litaweza kusaidia walimu katika utendakazi wao wa kazi, sisi lazima tusimame kidete ili tuweze kushikana na wao, ili tuweze kuwapatia mazingira bora ya kuweza kufanya kazi, ili tuweze kuhakikisha ya kwamba morali yao pale kazini haijashuka, kila masaa iwe iko juu, na tuhakikishe ya kwamba kazi yao wameifanya vizuri, watoto wetu waweze kufaulu hapo kesho. Mheshimiwa Spika, naona huu mswada unazungumza hususan kuhusu nafasi ya kaimu, ama kwa Kiingereza wanasema acting capacity. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, nasimama na kuunga mkono mswada kama vile wenzangu walivyosema, ya kwamba si haki, kwa mfano kama vile mwalimu mkuu ameondoka katika shule na yule mwanachini wake aweze aweze kuwa kaimu pale kwa muda, na kisha yule mtu asiweze kupatiwa ile nafasi permanently. Mheshimiwa Spika, hiyo inakuwa si sawa. Kwa hivyo kama kuna acting teacher mwenye ambaye yuko pale nje, naunga mkono ya kwamba isizidi, iwe ni baina ya siku 30 na baina ya miezi 6, TSC iweze kuzungumza na iweze kutoa msimamo kama yule mtu anachukuliwa permanently katika ile nafasi, na kama atakuwa hachukuliwi pale, tuweze kuelewa ni mahali gani ama ni nafasi gani nyingine ambayo anaweza kupatiwa. Na wale watu ambao wana wale watu ambao wamepatiwa hiyo nafasi ya kaimu, mahali pa kujishikililia, kwa sababu kulingana na ile barua ya TSC, ile nafasi si yako, unajishikililia kwa muda, ni haki yao Mheshimiwa Spika waweze kupatiwa pesa, waweze kupatiwa allowances pia, kwa sababu ile kazi yenye ambao wanakwenda kufanya ni zaidi ya yale makubaliano ambayo yako pale kulingana na ile contract yake ambayo ameweza kupatiwa. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, wewe mwenyewe unajua, kulingana na sheria na kulingana na tamaduni za kazi zote, hakuna yule ambaye anapenda ya kwamba awe yuko chini apande juu kisha arudishwe tena chini, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hivyo kulingana na tamaduni, na unajua ya kwamba ni vitu ambavyo tunaona zinatendeka katika sekta zingine za kazi, kama mtu amepatiwa nafasi ya kuact mahali, ni mapendekezo pia ya kwamba asiweze kupokonywa ile nafasi, ili aweze kuendeleza ile nafasi, aweze kujisaidia na aweze kusaidia wale wanafunzi wetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, kuhusu masuala pia pension, ni lazima pia tuweze kuiangalia. Kumekuwa na malalamishi kadhaa hapa na pale kulingana na walimu wangu wa kule Malindi, ya kwamba pia hizi pension siku hizi kidogo wameweza kubadilika kidogo, mambo yamekuwa mazuri, lakini bado tunataka kwamba zile pension pia za walimu ziweze kuharakishwa. Masuala ya kwamba mwalimu anakaa baina ya miaka 2 mpaka wengine hadi 5 na hawezi kupata pension yake, hiyo lazima Mheshimiwa Spika tuweze kuiangalia, tuweze kupiga msasa, walimu ile pesa yao ya pension waweze kupata kwa wakati sawa sawa, waweze kujisaidia na masuala yao ya maendeleo hapo nyumbani. Mheshimiwa Spika, pia masuala ya stahiki za ukomo wa ajira. Kuna wale walimu wenye ambao wameachishwa kazi, ama kuna wale walimu wenye ambao pia wameweza kuacha kazi wao wenyewe. Mheshimiwa Spika, hawa pia ni lazima tuweze kuwaunga mkono na tuweze kuangalia haki zao. Kama mtu ameweza kufanya kazi kwa muda, ako na haki ya kwamba aweze kulipwa kiasi cha pesa kadhaa. Hao Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu ya kule kujitolea kufanya kazi, pia nao tunaweza kuunga mkono na kusema ya kwamba hawa walimu waweze kupatiwa pesa, waweze kupatiwa allowance yao kidogo, kama umeacha kazi wawe mwenyewe, ama kama pia umeweza kuachishwa, nafikiria ni haki pia waweze kuangaliwa. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa kumalizia, sisi tunafaa saa hizi tuitishe hawa watu wa TSC na tuweze kuwauliza maswali, kwa sababu tunajua ya kwamba serikali ya Kenya kila mwaka tunajitahidi, na sisi hapa tunapitisha budget kila mwaka kuhakikisha ya kwamba walimu wameweza kuandika. Naomba dakika moja tena Spika. Lakini cha kushangaza Mheshimiwa Spika ni kwamba kuna area zingine Mheshimiwa Spika, hawa walimu hawafiki vile ambavyo sisi tunavyotarajia. Ninavyozungumza hapa Mheshimiwa Spika, niko na deficit ya walimu zaidi ya 500 ndani ya Malindi constituency. Tunaomba pia tume ya TSC wanapoajiri hawa walimu, wakati wanafanya zile posting, ile posting iwe iko na uhaki na usawa Kenya nzima. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Asante. The Honorable Baya.
Speaker, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this Teacher Service Commission Amendment Bill 2024. Honorable Speaker, from the outset, I want to say that this is a very fundamental piece of legislation because it introduces certain important things within the TSC Act, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, you realize that Teacher Service Commission and the teaching profession has grown over years. And we want to thank those who have been there to ensure the growth of this organization to the organization that is today that manages teachers. And I want to commend the work that has been put by previous bosses at TSC. We can comfortably say that the teacher of today is not the teacher of 10 years ago. The teacher of today is not the teacher that was there 20 years ago. Great progress has been made. But this piece of legislation, Honorable Speaker, is a progressive piece of legislation that cures some of the problems that have been there. And one I want to point out, Honorable Speaker, is the idea of acting capacities. For many years, teachers have been acting in certain capacities without remuneration. I want to put it on record, Honorable Speaker, I was and I am still a teacher. Probably I have a TSC number, which probably is moribund. And during my time as a teacher, Honorable Speaker, I acted as a dean of students in a college. I acted as a deputy principal, Honorable Speaker. At that time, I acted as principal. And all this time, I was never paid. All this time, I was never paid for those duties that and I was very dedicated and I did everything that could have been done by a principal, a dean, and a deputy, but I was never paid. And there are many other teachers in the same position today who have been acting for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and they have never been appreciated or remunerated for it. So this piece of legislation, and I want to thank the honorable member who is bringing this bill, Honorable Speaker, that he has looked, Abdul Haro has looked at how do we progress the teacher, and I want to say thank you. How do we progress the teacher? One fundamental thing, when a teacher is in acting capacity, he must get that special duty allowance. He must get that special duty allowance to compensate him for the effort that he's putting in for that. But interestingly, Honorable Speaker, when I was acting, I got a letter from the principal that you are acting. TSC never gave me a letter. And in fact, when I went for my interview for deputy principal at TSC, they never even recognized that I had acted. They never even put that as part of my resume, you know, for me to qualify for the next promotion, which I thought was a misnomer because I kept insisting in the interview, but you see, I'm the acting deputy principal. But they say, but who appointed you? And I said, but I have a letter from the principal. And they said, well, that is your local arrangement with the principal. But the fact that this bill introduces a letter that must be issued to the teacher at appointment acting capacity makes it now a better position for teachers to act. And I think this is really fundamental and progress towards the management of teachers. Honorable Speaker, there are teachers there. Someone has been a games master, drama teacher, music master. They have a local appointment, not even from the board, from the principal. And they put in all their energy and they work so hard. But there's nothing that comes forth unless probably a principal, like I'm sure a principal Ben Soda there, was able to give a token to a teacher to appreciate for the good work. But I think we need to appreciate the teachers better by giving them a letter of appointment from TSC and also remunerate them. Honorable Speaker, I know my time is running up, but allow me to say this. things like house allowance, commuter allowance, hardship allowance, special duty allowance, I want to thank the honorable member for now putting it in the law so that it does not become just a subject of a haggle between TSC and KNUT or KUPPET. It is now must be put in the law so that when such discussion comes, a teacher knows when I get a job as a teacher, these are my entitlements. I'm entitled to a commuter allowance, I'm entitled to house allowance, I'm entitled to special duty allowance, I'm entitled to hardship allowance as my entitlement as a teacher as I enter the service. And this is very fundamental. It should not become the subject of haggling and negotiation between trade unions and Honorable Speaker, let me just allow me 1 minute.
Please give him a minute.
So, Honorable Speaker, this is very progressive, and the teachers in this country deserve respect. We are who we are because we went through the hands of teachers. And a teacher, we used to be told, is a noble profession. But nobility alone, Honorable Speaker, does not bring respect. But law, statute, and things that are properly documented brings honor, brings respect, and brings proper duty of care to the teachers of this country. And therefore, I want to support this bill, Honorable Speaker, and wish the teachers of this country the best. And honorable members, let us pass this bill. It will progress the teaching profession and make it a profession instead of what we used to be called as a calling. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Caroline Ngeleche, member for Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to contribute to this bill. First, let me appreciate the member Honorable Haro, for bringing in this bill. Madam Speaker, there is something that is well noted in the Republic of Kenya, that a teacher is a very important person for the progress of this country and for every other thing that we'll need now and in the future. The participation of a teacher is very important. The population of Kenya, almost half of it are students, and they are all under the hands of a teacher. Remember, there is no other profession that is dealing with as many Kenyans as a teacher. And it's therefore very important that whenever there are issues to do with teachers, they need our support in this particular house, because if the teacher is not happy, most likely the student is not happy. And nonetheless, Mr. Speaker, we've been struggling and working hard as Kenyans to ensure that all the other professionals, be it doctors, be it even members of parliament, judges, magistrates, and all the other professionals are always made sure that they are comfortable, or at least they live well. Same to teachers, they have to be made to live a little or more comfortable, so that we can be guarantee that our pupils and students and our children are in good and safe hands and happy teachers. Madam Speaker, one thing that I want first of all to highlight, in the morning there was a discussion on the remittance of benefits of teachers since 1997. Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate that since 1997, teachers have not benefited with what is rightfully theirs. I'm sure many teachers who retired in the 1997 have been suffering, and even others are no longer on this earth. It is very wrong when people don't benefit on their contributions while they can still see, while they can still benefit, while they can still enjoy. And on that, Madam Speaker, it is very wrong, and TSC should put in place mechanisms that even when somebody retires, it should be automatic. Why should somebody retire in the village and travel to Nairobi, start requesting people for accommodation to follow up on what they actually worked for in the years? It should be automatic. As they write, as a teacher exits the system, the TSC should start processing the benefits that are rightfully belongs to that teacher, so that we save so much stress that teachers go through following their pension. And even if you accumulate what the teachers use to travel to come and follow up on their benefits, it still affects on the economy of this country, because that is money not put in the right use. So, Madam Speaker, let me go to the bill, and I'm told that, and I'm aware that many teachers, over 3,000 teachers in this republic, act as deputy or head teachers for more than 6 months. Others act up to 3 years, 4 years, and I'm told that somebody has even acted for 7 years. I mean, that is so inhuman. If you can trust somebody to act for 6 months, why not give the opportunity to that person to be permanent in that particular responsibility? Because there is no way that somebody can act for 2 or 3 years, then suddenly that person is not qualified, and you bring in a more qualified person, and you demote that particular person. It is even worse that I'm aware that a teacher is given an acting letter to act as the deputy, then suddenly now another deputy is brought in, and that particular teacher is taken to another school and is given an acting letter to act as a principal. So you find somebody has 2 acting letters on 2 different capacity. But when it comes to the time that the opportunity is be given, it is given to another person. Let us motivate our teachers. If somebody can act, if somebody is doing the job very well, why fix it? Another issue, Madam Speaker, is the regulations of the TSC. There are allowances which are there in the regulations but are not effected, Madam Speaker. They should be put in the act so that the TSC is compelled to be giving teachers their allowances, their house allowance. Like for instance, when a teacher is on interdiction, you find that they don't enjoy the house allowance. So where do you expect this teacher to live as they wait for their verdict? Are they supposed to go to the streets? Are they supposed to go and live with other teachers? Are they supposed to go and live with the students as they await their verdict? This should be rectified so that the teachers can get their allowances. And
Thank you very much. Oh, okay, half a minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. When TSC staff are taken on transfer, they enjoy their transfer allowance. The same TSC personnel or the same TSC staff who are supposed to effect the transfer allowance for teachers don't give the teachers the allowance. I mean, they are human beings just like the TSC staff. They should be given the allowance when they are taken on transfer, and it shouldn't come later on. They shouldn't move until they are given the allowance so that it facilitates them to move from one station to another. Otherwise, I support with all my efforts the bill by Honorable Haro that these.
Thank you, Caroline. I will come to you, Wabilianga, but allow me to allow the Honorable Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to also contribute to this particular bill. And first, let me thank the Honorable Abdul Haro for bringing this very progressive bill to Parliament, because, Honorable Speaker, when you look at the context of the bill and what he seeks to amend, it's actually very progressive because it provides predictability and certainty in 2 areas that teachers have had issues for the longest time. Honorable Speaker, the other thing about this particular bill, because just so to give it context in terms of why it's very important and why we should actually do it in Kenya, is because if you look at the other countries in the Middle East, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, in Africa, Zambia, Nigeria, they also have similar bills that are very specific in terms of how teachers' allowances are meant to be executed. Honorable Speaker, when you go to the specifics of the bill, because this particular bill seeks to amend Section 11 by inserting Section FA that speaks specifically about the different allowances for teachers that need to be amended. And most importantly, it's in consultation with the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, which actually makes it even more structured. And the 4th schedule actually sets out the specific different allowances that should be cured. Honorable Speaker, Section 32, which is also being amended, is speaking about the acting capacity and making this more structured. Because, Honorable Speaker, just as most of my colleagues have stated, you'll find a situation where a teacher is in acting capacity for the longest time without proper structure. So this particular bill is very specific in terms of, it says between 30 days to 6 months. And that particular teacher should have an appointment letter, and it should be specific, and that they can only act in one position. So those different articles and sections that have been provided for from Section 1 to Section 4 are actually very helpful so that we don't have a situation where teachers are being taken advantage of. We don't have a situation where a teacher is acting as a deputy forever, and then someone else comes in and becomes a principal and they are overlooked, because it's very specific that they will now only act for a specific period of time. Honorable Speaker, when you look at the 4th schedule and the specific 9 different allowances that have been also indicated there, and Honorable Speaker, more specifically to Part C, which talks about the hardship allowance, which has been an issue for the longest time, especially for the teachers who work in hardship areas. And Honorable Speaker, hardship area does not necessarily mean a teacher who works in a semi-arid area. It can even be right in Nyamira, where the roads are bad, where they cannot access the schools where they go to, where it is difficult to even get public transport for the teachers to be able to go and take their responsibility, because there's no commuter in place. But also the fact that they now have a commuter allowance through this particular bill, and I'm hoping that we will all support it, then it makes their life even easier. Because, Honorable Speaker, all of us agree that teachers are extremely important. We are all who we are because we went through the hands of a teacher at any particular stage in our life. And so it is incumbent upon us to ensure that we are actually also giving back to them and giving them the best that they deserve, because they're very important people in our society. So, Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I'd just like to add my support for those 2 specific issues: the structure in the acting capacity, and the allowances, especially the ones that have been specified to this particular bill, and to thank the Honorable Harrow for bringing this bill to the House. With those few remarks, I support and I submit. I thank you.
Thank you. The Honorable Wabilianga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to contribute to this motion and to this bill that has been brought forward by the Honorable Abdul. TSC is the employer of our teachers, and TSC has a duty that it must perform in order for these teachers to also perform their duties in class. Among the issues raised are allowances, different allowances to the teachers. I am totally in agreement with Honorable Abdul, because I will highlight a few that really need attention. There is the issue of hardship allowance. TSC has had a skewed method of identifying hardship allowance areas, such that some teachers who actually deserve this hardship allowance don't get the allowance. So as the bill moves on, we expect TSC to get to the right authorities to know who are these teachers that deserve this acting allowance, these hardship allowances, and which areas specifically. So it should be specific on what kind of teachers that will be getting this. Then there's this special allowance to teachers. Teachers teach different subjects. Amongst them, we have science school teachers, science teachers who handle chemicals. No allowance is given to them. Such teachers need to be given an allowance that is called risk allowance, because they handle children, they handle risky chemicals. Should an accident occur and teachers get hurt, get burnt with these chemicals, there's no risk allowance that is given to cushion such teachers. So for the science teachers, as well as the home science teachers who even do practical cooking, in case of an accident, such teachers are not cautioned, and there is no allowance that cushions them. So, honorable members, it is in our fullest knowledge that we together pass this bill. Then on the acting allowance, it is very clear that teachers have acted in the same position for a very long time. This is only on administrative positions. A teacher cannot act when he has not been given any administrative positions. I want to take an example of a job group called C3 and C4. C3 and C4 are teachers who have stayed and stagnated in such positions for a very long time. Such promotion should just be done automatically without even an interview. But we have principals and deputy principals who have acted for as long as 20 years. We have case studies
of teachers who have been deputies for 15 to 20 years in the same school. And when a promotion comes, these are not the teachers who are considered. TSC goes ahead to pick a teacher who is not, even of that same experience, and a teacher with a very little experience, and brings them to that school now to head the school, making this teacher who has been acting in that school very frustrated. They end up being transferred, and most of them have even retired without these promotions. I want to also commit here that teachers really suffer in this stagnation of job groups just because they have not been given any opportunity. On housing allowance, there's something that we brought up as unions, and it's called harmonization of house allowance. Housing allowance, if harmonized across all the towns of Kenya, will even reduce some of these transfers that teachers seek to get. Because you find teachers teaching in urban areas are at a higher scale compared to teachers who are teaching in the rural. So the housing allowance that is skewed and is not harmonized makes teachers think that if you get a transfer to an urban area, you will get more housing allowance. So this house allowance must be harmonized to make the teachers stay at the same par. And on readers allowance, this is special allowance. This is an allowance which is given to our teachers who are living with disabilities. Article 53(2) spells out the rights of PWDs, both children and the teachers. These teachers deserve to be given an allowance together with their aides. You find that TSC has ignored these teachers. Their aides are not given an allowance. These are teachers who should be given an allowance together with their aides. And alongside with that, KRA should also move ahead and exempt such teachers from paying taxes, but it has not.
Thank you. I think you have done justice to this, bearing in mind that you are part of the teacher union. Honorable members, I would like to give a chance to the Honorable Double N, and also for our IT department. The Honorable Double N has been here since morning, and we could not cite her on the screen. So please go ahead, Honorable Member for Embu County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to add my voice regarding the current bill that we have, the TSC Amendment Bill. And from the onset, we know that all of us are what we are and who we are because we have passed through the hands of the teachers. Our children, as we speak, some of them are in class because of the efforts of the teachers. And when we are here to support this bill, the amendment bill for the TSC, it's true that teachers need to have some dignity and be treated with dignity. Why? Because some of these teachers, they are so frustrated because of the obvious reasons that we are discussing this morning. Honorable Speaker, we know that teachers play a very, very important role. And I always compare the teachers with the doctors. Because if the teacher decides to frustrate your child or your children in class, then the background and the foundation of your children or your child will be in very, very, very bad situation. So even as I add my voice this morning to support the TSC Amendment Bill, I would wish to point out that it's true some of the teachers have stagnated in one job group for many years, and they feel so frustrated because there's nobody to really speak on their behalf. Some of these teachers, Honorable Speaker, they have been acting in one job group for a long time. Some of them are head teachers. They have been acting for many years. A case in question is the one that has been cited in this Honorable House, where a teacher has been acting for more than 12 years. It is quite unfair. And so I want to request that any teacher should be given a letter to stipulate or stipulating how long he or she should be acting in which capacity. There should be a clear guideline, a letter, not verbal communication. It should be indicated how long is she going to act or he going to act, and what is the acting allowance that he or she should be able to get. Honorable Speaker, as we support this bill, I know the issues of promotion. Some of these teachers have stagnated in one group and they have not been promoted for many years. Some of these teachers, as they act, some of them even retire and they have not even been substantially converted or even been promoted to the acting position that they were in, to the substantive position. So this bill comes in handy where we need to support that all teachers who have been acting should be able to be recognized and be given a letter stipulating all the allowances, the acting period of time that they need to be in acting capacity, so that they don't just act indefinitely until Jesus comes back. So, Honorable Speaker, I request that they should have a letter that is very, very comprehensive, and all the allowances stipulated there, so that they know whether they are acting from this period to this period and what they are expected to have. Honorable Speaker, issues of transfer. If a teacher has not requested for any transfer and the TSC has found it fit to transfer them, then it is the responsibility of the TSC to ensure that they have given that teacher the transfer allowance so that she or he is able to settle down with dignity in the institution that she has been transferred to. Honorable Speaker, I wish to support this bill, and I request the honorable members to support it with a lot of enthusiasm so that the teachers can have some dignity moving forward. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Dr. Nyikal, member for Seme.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Let me start by appreciating the Honorable Haro for bringing this. Madam Speaker, the situation of teachers is a very important issue in our country. We see teachers as just imparting knowledge and skills, but they do a lot more than that. Actually, early in the education of children, teachers work virtually responsible for child development. It's at that time that they can actually identify issues that relate to health, that relate to ability to learn, which if missed at that time, the child will never do well. Madam Speaker, skills and knowledge